You know how we put effort into choosing pieces we love, arranging them carefully, maybe even following a few trends we've seen online? That's what makes a home personal. But sometimes, even with all that effort, the room can still feel a little flat, a little off, or not as polished as you imagined. And that's not because you lack style. It's simply because styling a home works best when there's structure behind the choices. That's why in this video, I'll share 7 golden rules of home styling. They're not strict rules meant to limit your creativity, but simple guidelines that let your style shine while helping you avoid those quiet mistakes that hold a room back. By the end, you'll see how to make your home not just beautiful, but also balanced and welcoming. Let's start with one of the simplest but most powerful rules, the focal point. Every well-designed room needs one. It's that feature that immediately grabs your attention, like a bold fireplace. But here's the thing. If that's the only standout in the room, the rest of the space can feel a little unbalanced. That's why adding 1 or 2 secondary focal points across the room, maybe a full-length mirror, a tall cabinet, or even a large piece of wall art, creates harmony and makes the whole space feel more intentional. The key is balance, not competition. When everything in a room tries to stand out equally, nothing truly does. Instead, let your main focal point take center stage and allow the secondary ones to quietly support it. Lighting also plays a big role here. It doesn't just brighten a room, it tells the eye where to look. A pair of sconces framing a fireplace, a soft spotlight above artwork, or even natural light catching a mirror can all reinforce your focal points and make them feel intentional, not accidental. Now, once your room has strong focal points, the next rule is all about balance, not just in design, but in time. A home that feels stylish today but outdated tomorrow usually comes from chasing too many trends at once. That's why one of the golden rules is the 80-20 balance. Keep about 80% of your interior timeless, and let the remaining 20% play with trends. Think of it this way: your big investments, the sofa, the cabinets, the flooring, the bed, even your dining table. These should sit in that timeless category. You don't want to replace them every few years. Then use the 20%, things like bedding, rugs, paint colors, mirrors, or throw blankets, to bring in freshness and personality. This balance does 2 things. First, it saves you money because you're not redoing the expensive parts every time styles shift. And second, it makes your home feel both stable and current, grounded in timeless pieces, but still flexible enough to evolve with you. Once your foundation is in place with that 80-20 balance, the next layer is pattern. Patterns are powerful. They can either bring harmony or chaos, depending on how you use them. Here's the key. Balance 3 types: solids, geometrics, and florals. Solids give your eye a place to rest. Geometrics add structure and energy. Florals soften the look and bring in a natural, organic feel. One of the easiest ways to try this is with your throw pillows. Arrange them in a set of 3, 1 solid, 1 geometric, and 1 floral. That simple combination instantly looks styled, intentional, and balanced. It works the same across bigger elements too. Maybe your sofa or rug is solid, your curtains carry a subtle geometric, and an accent chair brings in the floral. Too many solids and the room feels flat. Too many busy patterns and it feels overwhelming. But when you mix them in the right proportion, the space feels layered and effortless. Another detail people overlook is scale. A large floral paired with a medium-sized geometric and a small-scale pattern creates contrast that feels intentional. If all your patterns are the same size, the eye doesn't know where to rest, and the room can feel noisy. So, think of it this way. Solids ground the room, patterns add life, and the right scale keeps everything from competing. That's how you move from random mix to a polished, styled look. If pattern brings life to a room, texture brings soul. Without it, even the most thoughtfully styled space can end up feeling flat, like a showroom that looks perfect but doesn't invite you to sit down. The key is balance. Focus on 3 finishes: glossy, matte, and natural. A sleek glass table instantly feels richer when paired with a matte ceramic vase and a woven linen runner. Wood against metal, stone alongside fabric. It's these contrasts that give a room its depth and personality. Here's a practical way to check your space. Look around and ask yourself, do I only see smooth, polished surfaces? If yes, add something with texture. A chunky knit throw on a leather sofa, a jute rug under a glossy coffee table, or a rough stone planter beside a shiny mirror. Those pairings keep your room from feeling one note. The goal isn't to overthink it, but to make sure there's a mix. Gloss gives sophistication, matte grounds it, and natural textures warm it up. Together, they create depth and make a room not just look styled, but feel inviting. We already touched on this when talking about textures: glossy against matte, rough against smooth. But contrast isn't just about surfaces. It's a bigger principle that runs through every great interior. Think about pairing shapes, round alongside angular, or time periods, antique pieces set against something sleek and new. Even materials, a rustic wooden bench with a polished marble table, or a vintage mirror above a modern cabinet. These opposites don't compete. They complete each other. They create balance and add energy, keeping a room from feeling flat, predictable, or stuck in a single style. The secret is proportion. Too much of one side, all modern or all vintage, all sharp lines or all curves, and the space feels one-dimensional. But when you bring in just enough contrast, the room feels intentional, layered, and timeless. Now, this one might surprise you. Sets aren't always your friend. When you buy things in pairs or groups, like a matching duvet set, photo frames, or decorative accessories, the natural instinct is to keep them together. But that's exactly what makes a room feel stiff, almost like it came straight out of a store catalog. The trick is to separate them. A pair of frames? Hang one in your living room and the other in the hallway. A matching duvet and pillow set? Break it up by mixing in throws or textured pillows so the bed feels layered and personal, not predictable. And when you're styling accessories, remember this simple guideline. Odd numbers almost always look better than even. 3 vases in different sizes will feel more natural and dynamic than 2 of the same. A cluster of 5 candles will feel warmer than a neat pair of identical ones. You can even take this beyond small accessories. Furniture sets, like a sofa with its matching love seat and armchairs, often feel heavy when grouped together in one room. Instead, try splitting them up. Keep the sofa in your living room, but move the love seat to a study or a bedroom corner. Suddenly, each piece has its own spotlight, and the room feels less staged. It's the same principle. Separation creates personality. When every piece is forced to sit in a set, your home starts to feel like a showroom. But when you give them space and mix them with other finds, they tell a story that's uniquely yours. Finally, let's talk about something people rarely consider: comfort in the lived-in sense. A home can be perfectly styled, spotless, and beautiful, yet still feel unwelcoming. That happens when it looks too perfect, almost like no one actually lives there. The fix is simple. Add small, lived-in touches. A board game left on the coffee table, coasters already set out, a throw casually draped on the sofa. Even something as ordinary as a pair of shoes by the door can signal warmth and invite people to relax. The goal isn't to create mess, it's to create comfort. When every detail feels too staged, guests can feel nervous about messing it up. But when a space has those human touches, it becomes more than just stylish. It feels like home. And that's really the heart of all these golden rules. They're not strict rules meant to box you in. They're gentle principles that help your creativity shine while avoiding the common mistakes that quietly hold spaces back. From choosing a strong focal point, to balancing timeless with trendy, mixing patterns, layering textures, playing with opposites, breaking up sets, and finally, keeping your home lived in, together, these simple shifts can make any space not just beautiful, but also balanced, welcoming, and truly yours. If you found this helpful, don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss the next video. We'll keep bringing you golden tips to make your home feel as good as it looks. Thank you, and see you in the next one.